with Mickey. My name is Mike Knigge and I am your host, and this is the week of September 28th, 2015. For those just joining the show for the first time, you're probably going, welcome back, what's he talking about? Well, we've been on hiatus for the last couple weeks, honestly. Those who've been watching the show regularly already know this and know why. But for those who are just joining us for the first time, my family went back to Walt Disney World. Finally! We have been waiting to go back for a while, and we finally got a chance to take our week-long vacation to Walt Disney World. And unfortunately that meant a short hiatus for the show, but on a positive note, we have tons and tons of material for you guys to check out over the coming months. Okay? And I'm going to go into that, how that's all going to pan out a little later in the show, because we're going to do an overview, kind of a brief overview of our trip, and then in forthcoming shows we're going to have real nitty-gritty details on each park and what we did and how that went. But this episode is mainly just going to be a quick overview on how the trip went, our overall feelings and things of that nature. But before we get into that, we have some news, as I always do. Starting off with the 2016 military discount that Disney just released. Now it's for active duty military service members, and it's also for retired military service members. Okay, this deal offers 6 tickets per serving member of the military. Now that way they can take their entire family if they want. Okay, it's good for 2016 from January 3rd through December 19th. Notice that they started right after the big push at the end of this year, because you know most people's trips end during that peak season right around January 1st and 2nd. So it starts at January 3rd and runs through December 19th of next year, right before the big push for Christmas starts there. There's also a blackout period in the middle from March 20th through April 1st. Again, very, very high peak business season. But they wanted to take some time and thank the military service members for all that they do for our country. So this discount, I can't go into prices because although they listed prices on the promotional information, they also put a little caveat at the bottom saying that the prices may change depending on the service member and their rank and what other deals that are available. So I'm not going to go into the prices, but basically for Walt Disney World, they're offering a 4-day deal with tickets and park hoppers or water parks and more. And then Disneyland is offering a 3-day deal. Similar idea of park hoppers. Now, with these deals, they can be used throughout those times in 2016. And although I am a major Walt Disney World fan, and I will always push Walt Disney World all day long, I need to push Disneyland this time around. Because they're offering this deal, and Disney just recently announced that they're expanding their 60th Diamond Anniversary celebration through September of next year, which means through most of this military promotion, the Diamond celebration will be going on. So if it's within your means to get to California and take advantage of this military deal, by all means, take advantage of it. Everything I've seen from the Diamond celebration is truly magical and amazing. And if this gives you the means to go, take advantage of it while it's still here. We're still years away from a Diamond celebration for Walt Disney World. And even when that comes, it's going to be different from Disneyland. There's going to be a different feel, a different look to it. So if it's within your means, utilize this military discount, this military promotion that Disney's offering, and go check out Disneyland. That said, if you can't get to Disneyland, if getting to California is just way out of your means, you live here on the East Coast, it's just not an option, then use this discount if you're military or retired military to go to Walt Disney World. Because despite all the construction that's going on down there, it is still an amazing place to visit. They definitely make up for the construction with magic throughout the park. So if you have questions about that, contact me. I'm a Disney travel specialist. I can give you information on it. Contact your travel agent or contact Disney Travel directly. And any of us would be happy to help you get this deal going. The next thing up on the list is actually 2 things that are going on right now. Is the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom and the Epcot Food and Wine Festival of course, at Epcot. I'll start with the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. This is a hard ticket event, which means you can't get into this event without a ticket. It also means that if you have a regular ticket to Magic Kingdom on the day of a party, they will shoo you out. Right around, I believe the party starts at 7. So around like 6 o'clock, they're going to start shooing people out of Magic Kingdom to make room for this party. Now, it also means if you have a hard ticket, you can get in as early as 4 o'clock on one of these days. So this is a great event for those who want to like hit Animal Kingdom in the morning and then go hit Magic Kingdom at night. Now you're probably going, why would I want to buy an extra ticket beyond my normal tickets to go to this Halloween party? What's so special? Well, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is a whole departure from your normal Disney experience. There's a different parade at night that's very Halloween oriented, which is fantastic. There's different fireworks, there's special meet and greets that you can't get otherwise, like Jack Skellington isn't normally available at Walt Disney World, but he is a meet and greet there. You get to see more of the villains at this Halloween party. There's trick-or-treating through the park. They give you trick-or-treat bags, and there's trick-or-treat locations throughout the entire park and go trick-or-treat. And of course, I don't know if I just mentioned it, but there's a special fireworks show that you get to check out that's very Halloween and villain-oriented. Now, in past years, it had gotten a little stale. The Mickey's Scary Party was still fun. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party was still fun, but it got a little stale because it was kind of the same show every year. This year is different. This year, they have added the Sanderson sisters. And for those who don't know who the Sanderson sisters are, they are the main characters from a Disney movie called Hocus Pocus. A little over 20 years old at this point. So it's an older movie, and definitely the younger crowd has probably no clue who they are. I just introduced my son to them because we watched the party and we saw them, and he was like, who are they? Well, let me show you. And we watched Hocus Pocus, and now he's loving it. He wishes we had gone. And unfortunately for us, it started the Tuesday after we went home. But it's hosted by the Sanderson sisters. Some of the music from their movie is in their big stage show. They interact with the villains on the stage show. They're basically putting together the ultimate Hocus Pocus Halloween party. And it's a lot of fun. As I said, with the introduction of those three sisters, it's definitely brought some new life to that party and refreshed it a little bit. I mean, obviously there's elements that have always been there, but it definitely adds some excitement. And these first couple weeks, it's been very busy, sold out. But as the season goes on, before we get towards closer to Halloween, it's going to die off. So if you have the means to go to Walt Disney World in the next few weeks, take advantage of it. Go ahead and get a ticket and check this out, because I can't guarantee they're going to do it next year. I truly hope they're going to do it next year, because we're going to try to make it for it. But if you can, check it out this year, at least while it's here, and we know it's here. Because it's a whole lot of fun. And if you can't go, trust me, I fully get it. We wish we could go back and check it out. Go on YouTube. Look up the Halloween party. A lot of people have recorded the parade, the show, the fireworks. All three are a lot of fun. And if you can't experience it in person, you can at least experience it in some form. So there's that. Then there's the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Now, this is an expansion on the concept of the World Showcase. Now, those who've been to Epcot know that around that lake is the World Showcase on the backside of Epcot, featuring multiple countries from across the world. And each country has little booths for this Epcot Food and Wine Festival. But between those countries, the dead space between, they've added other countries, booths for other countries. So it's not just the countries that have been represented there for years. You're getting other countries like South Korea in there. You're getting Africa in there. You're getting a real broad spectrum of the world and flavors from those countries. Now you can buy tickets to this and get vouchers for each of the booths and try out different foods. But if you're a foodie, it's worth the expense. Because you get a real feel for who these people are in these other countries by tasting the flavors that are integral in their lives. You're tasting those flavors that are very much representations of who they are. Now, Epcot's World Showcase has been fantastic with that in general, with the countries they already represent. And they've taken that same amount of love and time and focus and expanded it into these little booths to check out other countries beyond what's already there. So for those who've been to Epcot and love that immersive experience, this is a great way to expand upon that and broaden your worldview. For those who haven't, it's still an opportunity to broaden not only your worldview, but also your taste palette a little bit. So both these events are going on right now, so if you want information, contact me, your travel agent, or Disney Travel, and any of us would be happy to help you get more information and see if we can make this a reality for you, your family, your friends, or whoever else you want to take along with you. My next piece of information is going to be the Jock Lindsay Hangar Bar. Now, this is a bar that just opened up in downtown Disney, or soon to be Disney Springs. It is essentially a Indiana Jones themed bar, and that's the way they're billing it. And for those who are going in expecting to see Indy and all this stuff that's just Indy, it might be a little disappointed, because it's not really themed after Indiana Jones, it's themed after Jock Lindsay. And Jock Lindsay is a small character role from the Indiana Jones movies. He is the one that is waiting on the plane for Indiana Jones after he's chased by the giant boulder, and now he's being chased by some natives who are trying to kill him for trying to steal their golden head. And, you know, Jock Lindsay is sitting in his plane fishing off his pontoons as Indiana's running at him screaming, "Jock, start the plane, start the plane!" And then, you know, of course, those who've watched it know that he's in the plane, and all of a sudden he realizes he's got like this giant snake in his lap, and, you know, Indiana Jones is terrified of snakes. So Jock is the pilot of that plane, and this bar is supposed to be like his hangar bar. And inside, it's very much themed from that time frame for Indiana Jones. There are little nods here and there to Indiana, but not a ton. What they've done in that bar is they've put a lot of small details that nod towards Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Disney. Basically, Lucasfilm and Disney, there are little tiny nods throughout the entire bar. I believe Marvel even has some tiny nods in there too, that you have to look closely to catch. So it's not one of those walk in, wow, I'm hit by Indiana Jones. It's like, wow, okay, it's kind of a cool little bar, and you'll sit there and eat, and oh wait, there's the golden head. Oh wait, there's this on the menu. It looks like the boulder that tried to run him over, but it's like on a slider bun. It's kind of awesome. So they put these little details in there, and I'm not going to go into it and tell you where all these details are. It's definitely fun for you to go in and just find them. And they're all kind of little surprises. Now the bar, it is a bar, but it's a family-friendly bar. They have a ton of drinks on the menu that are kid-friendly, non-alcoholic. And although it's not a restaurant, it is a bar, it does have food. Now it's more of an appetizer type thing. I wouldn't go in there expecting to eat a full meal, but you could get some appetizers and tide yourself over towards a meal, or if you are eating, it's a good way to have a snack later in the day. Definitely worth checking it out. Again, lots of little details, and that's what Disney does best, is the little details. So, by all means, next time you're in downtown Disney, or if it's Disney Springs by that point, because it's about to change, stop by Jock Lindsay's and check it out. It's really cool. They have videos, again, I always reference YouTube. There's videos on YouTube of the bar and kind of what it's looking like. But you'll never experience it through YouTube. The only way you'll really experience it is to go there and check it out. The final piece of news I have before we get to this quick overview is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean has finally reopened after its 3-month-long rehab. Now, for those who've been following this story, it was supposed to be a 6-month rehab, and they backed off and brought it down to 3 months. But essentially, the summer was shot. No one got to experience it for the summer. I know my family, we missed it, because it wasn't going to open up until, you know, a week and a half, 2 weeks after we got home. So we were very disappointed we didn't get to ride it, because that's one of those staple rides we love to ride. But it was necessary. There were things that needed to happen, and they took the time to do it. There were 4 major changes that they did over that 3-month period. They changed the lighting in the ride to make it more dramatic. In the past, it was very monotone, and it really didn't change much, and it was just kind of, it was very static. There was no movie quality to it. And what they've done is they've stepped back, and they've changed the lighting up to give the things that you need to see the more light it needs, and then dim out the other stuff to give that contrast that you would see in a movie. They did something similar to Little Mermaid in this past year, where when they first opened it, everything was really bright. You could kind of see behind the magic a little bit. You could see all the connections that made the animatronics work. And it was kind of disappointing because it looked fake. They went back in this past year with Little Mermaid and they changed the lighting up and changed it so that you saw what they wanted you to see, not so much what they didn't want you to see. And they did the same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean to kind of give it a refreshed look and that more movie dramatic view in general with the lighting. They've also, to help with that, they went through and they updated all the costumes too. Now some of the costumes were just old, ratty, and dirty, so they just needed to go. And then some just needed a refresher. They wanted to change the look a little bit. So some of them, not all the characters look different per se. Some of them have newer costumes, updated costumes that look better. Barbossa they did change. He is still Barbossa, but he's now dressed to look like the Barbossa from Stranger Tides. Jack Sparrow is still on the ride. For those who were terrified that he was going away, he is still on the ride. He still looks like Jack Sparrow. But they just refreshed the costumes. So that way you have brighter colors and they look better. And with the new lighting, they stand out the way they need to stand out. And for I understand, the whole overall look has changed and it's made it so much better. The only ride train change they made was in the first drop. Those who've ridden Pirates of the Caribbean at Walt Disney World know that early on in the ride there is a drop. And that drop is, like they said in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, short drop and a sudden stop. And it's very much that short drop and a sudden stop. And a lot of people thought that was really jarring. And they really didn't like how you got jerked there at the end and splashed. So Disney's kind of went back and smoothed out that drop. It's still a drop, but it's not as jerky and it's not as abrupt as it used to be. Now you still might get wet depending on how the boat is weighted. I mean, if I'm on one side, my 10-year-old's on the other side, the weight is on my side. So they can't control that. But it's not as jerky as it once was. So they went ahead and made that change. They didn't change anything else in the ride train, per se. So those who were whining about safety situations where people have gotten hurt, well, those people got hurt because they stuck their arms and legs outside the vehicle. They tell you to keep your hands inside the boat at all times. If you don't listen, you get hurt. Follow direction, people. It's common sense. They tell you not to do it. You do it anyway, and you get hurt. It's your fault, not theirs. So they didn't change anything else, because there's nothing wrong with the ride as long as you do what you're told. So for those who thought that was coming, sorry. We're not all going to be in bubbles inside these boats. Can't help you there. But that was the only major change to the ride train that they did. And the final change they made wasn't really a change, but more of an update. The animatronics in Pirates of the Caribbean are very old style animatronics. They're very good, but they're old. And over time, many of the animatronics had stopped working. And the rest of the animatronics that were still working were very jerky and robot-like. They've gone back and they've refreshed all the animatronics. They've gone, did all the maintenance, replaced what they needed to replace. Now, every character is moving the way they're supposed to be moving. Characters that haven't moved in years are now moving. And not only are they moving, but instead of doing this robot, jerky look, they're actually moving like human beings. They look the way they're supposed to look, the way they're meant to look. And although it's still an old style of animatronic, it's an old effect, now that they've updated them and cleaned them up, got them working efficiently and properly, it's changed the whole feel for the ride. Now, instead of looking at these characters going, oh yeah, that's definitely fake, now you have to do a double take. Oh, is that a person or is that an animatronic? So between the look of the costumes, the lighting, the change in the update in the animatronics to make them flow better and make them move better, the whole experience of Pirates of the Caribbean has changed. And even if you've seen it in the last 5 years, it's worth going to check it out now. Because from what I understand, again, I didn't get to ride it because it was closed when I was there. And it just reopened. But from what I understand, the whole experience, the overall feel of the ride has completely changed. And from what I understand, it's gone from a great ride to a very epic and headlining ride for Walt Disney World. So if you're in the area, or you're going to be in the area in the coming years, make a point to check out Pirates of the Caribbean, because they put 3 months into this during their peak season because they wanted to make sure that this ride was something that people are going to enjoy for years to come. So, with that, that is the end of my news segment. But before I get into this quick overview of our trip, I've got a small slideshow for you guys to check out. Just a sampling of some of the pictures we took, and so you can get a taste of the magic before we really get into it. Hope you guys enjoy, and we'll be right back. guys enjoyed those pictures. There are tons more to come. I took somewhere around 2,000 pictures, and I've got about 80 videos that I took as well. Now, they're not long videos. When I say videos, they're not very long videos. I've got like 2 that are sizable. The bulk of them are like 10-second little snippets. In fact, I'll probably end up doing little inserts into the show with these videos, or I might do a collage of videos. I haven't fully decided how I'm going to do it with them. But I've got tons and tons of pictures. I've got tons of videos that I'm going to be sharing with you guys over the coming months. Okay? Quick overview of our feelings on it, because when I say overview, I'm not getting into details this week. This week, I'm basically telling you how the coming months are going to play out. But I will give you an overall feel for a view on our feelings on the trip. We had an amazing time. Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Downtown Disney, Hollywood Studios, even our resort, All-Star Sports, made for a wonderful vacation for my family. Our knowledge that we've gained since our last trip really made a huge difference on how this trip went and how much we enjoyed it. Despite all the construction that was going on, and when I say all the construction, I mean it was everywhere. Despite that, Disney made a point to make sure that the magic was not tainted. In fact, that they stepped up their game in some areas on the magic to make up for all the construction. And, you know, walking through, they made it so that when you saw the construction, you weren't like, oh great, there's another crane. They made it so when you walked through and you saw some of the construction, you went, oh dude, that's where this is going to be. I can't wait to see it. And they kept the magic alive. They really made a point. Now, there's some things you can't get around. You can't get around some of the equipment that's out there. They did put scrims up that kind of looked like trees or whatever the background was in that area to try to hide stuff. Occasionally you would hear some saws going, but it really wasn't that bad. They really made an effort to not make it affect the trip. And we did. We had an amazing time. Downtown Disney, we did 2 nights. When we first got there, and then the night after we went to Animal Kingdom, ate an Earl of Sandwich both times because it is an amazing restaurant, which I'll talk about. We checked out Disney Quest while we were there. I'll talk about that too. I'm very disappointed that that's going away, but that was a fantastic time as well. We did Magic Kingdom twice, 2 full days. We, even enjoyed a fast pass viewing for the fireworks that first night. Wonderful time at Magic Kingdom. We discovered probably a new favorite ride. It's rivaling some of our classic favorites, and that's the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Talk about that ride too. When we went to Epcot, we split it. We did 2 days there as well. We split the first day being mainly in Future World up in the front of the park, and of course we had dinner in Marrakesh, that evening. And then the second day we spent a little bit of time up in Future World waiting for the backside to open in the World Showcase. Checked out Soarin' again, checked out Test Track again. We had breakfast over at Starbucks. And then when World Showcase opened up, we spent our entire day in World Showcase. Did the passport, did everything, checked out all the countries. There were a few things we did miss, some shows. We didn't really dig into France the way we wanted to dig into France. But an amazing time. My kids got to eat at Via Napoli that day. We watched Illuminations that night as a family, and from the location we got a wonderful location just outside Via Napoli to watch the fireworks show at Epcot, Illuminations. So, an amazing time, lots of magical moments. I can't wait to tell you guys about some of the details in this. I'm really trying not to dig in now because I don't want to ruin future episodes. We spent a full day at Hollywood Studios, and despite everything that's going on, everything that was closed down there, that was an amazing time. My family finally got to see Fantasmic, something that I've been trying to get them to see for a long time. We checked out Fantasmic, we did One Man's Dream, and a wonderful look through Walt's life and the future of Walt Disney World. We got to finally try Toy Story Mania, which was awesome. We had a great time with Toy Story Mania. We actually have the game here at home that came out right before the ride did, and it was really cool to be in the ride vehicle playing that game. So I'll talk more about that. Again, we did Animal Kingdom for a day. Always a great time at Animal Kingdom. Kali River Rapids, we got soaked, which, we all sucked it up except for my wife. She had to have a new dress. talk more about that. But overall, an amazing trip. Anybody looking to go, I would highly recommend this time of year down at Walt Disney World. It was so much fun. The weather wasn't scalding hot. It was warm, but it wasn't deathly hot, except for like maybe one day. Lots of fun. Truly magical visit. And we can't wait to go back. My wife and I are hoping to go back next September and make it a honeymoon that never happened. So we've got that coming up hopefully next year. I have a trip hopefully coming with the 3D travel company that I work with in April. So we're really pumped. We enjoyed ourselves so much that we have to plan more trips. So that said, let me tell you about how this is going to go. I know you guys are probably disappointed, like, ooh, I wanted to see a lot of stuff this week. But I wanted to kind of catch up on news and kind of give you an overview of how I'm going to do this. Rather than doing it day by day, which honestly the episodes could be huge if I do it day by day, I'm going to break it down by parks. So, you know, next week we're going to start we're going to do Magic Kingdom, and that will start a segment that will cover Magic Kingdom. It'll maybe a couple episodes long to get everything in, but anything we did at Magic Kingdom for the entire trip, we'll cover. And then once we finish covering Magic Kingdom, we'll move to the next park, or we'll move to Downtown Disney, or we'll move to the hotel. And so this is going to be probably several months of letting you guys enjoy all the details of the magic that we enjoyed. So we'll do restaurant reviews for like Be Our Guest and Marrakesh. I'll do a hotel review for All Star Sports. I will do an overall overview of each individual park. I'll get into every detail I can so that you guys can hopefully vicariously enjoy the magic that we enjoyed for that week. And hopefully it will hold off the inevitable Disney drop where I have to wait for the next trip. So probably the next 3 months, maybe 4, every week we're going to be talking about one of the parks. We're going to be talking about a restaurant or something of that nature. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to break it down like that. We'll finish off Magic Kingdom, and then we'll go on to the next section. And we'll finish off that section and go on to the next section, rather than doing it day by day. So, with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it's more of a tease. I can't wait to share all this with you guys. I'm super pumped. I'm going to show you some of the stuff we picked up, and every week I'll tell you what we're doing next week, because there is so much I've got to get off my chest and share with you guys that I'm going to have to tell you each week what we're doing. So, with that said, next week we're going to start Magic Kingdom and start working through that. And Walt said it best, I hope you never lose sight of one thing. This was all started by a mouse. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week with Magic Kingdom. Bye now.